Space is a mechanical enclosure. On July 12, 2022, the James Webb Space Telescope did not just photograph deep space, it proved the void is being physically crushed. During its initial calibration sequence, the raw telemetry feed returned a corrupted data stream that was immediately classified. The targeted sector was SMACS 0723, an ancient cluster of galaxies meant to showcase standard gravitational lensing. But the unprocessed raw file did not display the expected natural curvature of celestial light. Instead, at the extreme edge of the frame, the photon stream fractured against a perfectly rectilinear, geometric distortion, a sharp, absolute dead zone spanning 90 light-years. In the deep vacuum of the cosmos, astrophysics dictates that light bends seamlessly around massive objects, but this anomaly behaved like a brutal, physical collision. The starlight was cleanly severed, refracting off an invisible, rigid barrier in the void as if the expanding universe itself had crashed into a structural glass wall. This wasn't an optical illusion, it was a mechanical failure of space-time. The moment this impossible architecture downloaded into the primary servers on Earth, the thermodynamics of the processing rack spiked violently. The sheer, anomalous density of the encrypted image triggered an immediate system failure, physically melting the copper wiring and carbonizing the mainframes in what appeared to be a forced, localized purge to erase the evidence. The official institutional report swiftly buried the event under the guise of an optical ghosting artifact, a routine hardware error supposedly caused by a microscopic dust impact on the primary beryllium mirror. But cosmic dust does not possess a geometric acoustic signature, and a mechanical glitch does not execute a targeted thermal overload on ground control hardware. The melted silicate and fused metal on the laboratory floor proved that the unexplained interference was not internal. We are not looking at an infinite, expanding frontier. The data confirms we have photographed the boundary of the enclosure, an existential threat proving the dark is caged by a massive, artificial structure. The institutional blockade is still actively scrubbing the remaining unredacted fragments of this breach from public networks. To bypass the firewall and authorize the immediate decryption of the actual raw coordinates, validate your access by hitting the like button below. The structural fracture in the deep field is widening, and the next decrypted layer reveals exactly what is pressing against the outside of the glass. In the deep void, ancient photons should travel in uninterrupted paths. However, incoming telemetry revealed a violent deceleration of light, proving that the vacuum of space itself is grinding against an invisible structural boundary. The cosmic radiation did not merely bend, it shattered against a geometric barrier, initiating impossible thermodynamic friction indicating the universe has a rigid boundary. Standard astrophysics attempted to classify this anomaly as a decaying signal or a localized gravitational lensing error. Yet, the physical mechanics in deep space contradicted this illusion. The corrupted data showed light waves cleanly cut at a perfect 90-degree angle, an architectural precision that natural cosmic phenomena simply cannot replicate, pointing to an artificial structure. If this were a mere optical distortion, the surrounding galaxy clusters would stretch symmetrically. Instead, the void itself is fracturing. We are observing the clinical manifestation of spatial compression, where pure energy is being physically crushed into a flat, impenetrable wall, confirming an unexplained interference that violently supersedes the natural laws of orbiting celestial masses. The illusion of an expanding cosmos is collapsing under the weight of this raw observation. This is not a passive dead zone, it is a mechanical containment grid actively resisting the photon stream. The relentless acoustic signature vibrating off this barrier proves the silence of deep space is hiding a far more terrifying existential truth. Examining the boundary layer directly reveals a brutal mechanical failure of the vacuum. Gravity does not simply cease, it is being sheared off by an unidentified mass of absolute density. Starlight hitting this perimeter does not scatter, it is instantly compressed and erased, leaving a perfectly straight, lightless fracture that violates every known thermodynamic principle. The mathematical models defining our solar system shatter when applied to this sheer cosmic drop-off. The kinetic energy of distant quasars is brutally halted, creating a localized orbital breach where incoming matter is ground to absolute zero. This is not empty space, this is an unyielding, engineered structure designed to enforce a terrifying containment protocol. Continuous thermodynamic readings confirm the boundary never fluctuates. A natural phenomenon decays, but this barrier actively adjusts its resistance to match the pressure of the expanding galaxy. We are walled inside a dark perimeter where any celestial body approaching the edge is systematically annihilated, forcing us to acknowledge an immediate, inescapable extinction-level threat. The architecture of this cosmic enclosure is shifting, and redacted telemetry indicates the pressure wall is slowly moving inward. To maintain your security clearance and continuously monitor this escalating system failure, you must subscribe to this forensic archive now. The structural collapse is accelerating, and the next encrypted data layer will expose its creators. The unredacted spectrographic layer exposes the crucial blind spot actively ignored by standard astrophysics. Filtering the ambient cosmic radiation reveals that the absolute silence of the void is entirely artificial. Instead of infinite expansion, the raw telemetry confirms an imposing, geometric boundary constructed from an unidentified mass restricting outer celestial movements. This is not a decaying signal from a faulty lens. The sheer mechanical friction of distant starlight hitting this wall generated a thermal shockwave so intense that classified data drives and ground control physically vibrated on steel tables before carbonizing. This localized system failure proves the massive anomaly is brutally real. Standard gravitational models instantly collapse when exposed to this unyielding perimeter. The illusion of a boundless universe is shattered by the raw thermodynamics of a cage. Photons do not stretch into the distance, they are cleanly sheared and erased against this artificial structure, violating every established law of orbital mechanics. The clinical analysis of this orbital breach confirms we are not merely observing a static cosmic wall. The acoustic signature echoing off this perimeter indicates a relentless mechanical shift. The containment grid is not a dormant monument, it is actively recalibrating its internal pressure, triggering a terrifying new phase of spatial compression. As the perimeter contracts, the mechanical impact upon our immediate cosmos initiates an unprecedented physical cataclysm. The fundamental geometry of space buckles under this external force. Entire planetary orbits destabilize, creating violent gravitational friction as celestial bodies are systematically forced out of alignment by the crushing pressure of the encroaching wall. This structural collapse operates like a mechanical vice in the vacuum. Gas giants and ancient star clusters undergo severe thermodynamic degradation, their atmospheres violently crushed and ignited against the invisible gravitational friction of the narrowing containment grid. The fabric of the local universe is suffering acute cosmic asphyxiation, suffocating beneath an inescapable mass. Our fragile solar system is mathematically insignificant against the relentless scale of this structural extinction event. As the boundary advances, the outer galaxies are pulverized into dust, their starlight entirely erased by the crushing anomaly. We are witnessing the systematic, cold eradication of all matter trapped within this decaying containment sector. The institutional blockade continues to suppress the corrupted data confirming this encroaching mechanical doom. To directly combat their censorship and ensure this localized reality breach cannot be buried, you must share this highly classified forensic alert with anyone still blindly trusting the official narrative. The structural collapse has already breached the outer rim. The mathematical trajectory of this massive anomaly confirms a total structural breach across the cosmos. The sheer mass of the encroaching boundary physically crushes local astrophysics, instantly neutralizing any theoretical defense. Distant celestial bodies are silently crushed as immense gravitational fields systematically collapse under the relentless pressure of this advancing perimeter. Calculating the precise decay speed of the surrounding galaxy reveals a terrifying acceleration. This artificial structure ignores natural orbital mechanics, expanding its absolute dead zone at a velocity that shatters our fundamental physics. The unexplained interference instantly pulverizes orbiting gas giants, proving this cosmic machinery operates with ruthless mathematical precision. Any localized attempt to escape this advancing perimeter is mathematically irrelevant. The immense gravitational friction generated by the shifting containment grid effortlessly eradicates entire star systems. The cosmos is not an infinite expanse providing refuge. It is a meticulously engineered mechanism where celestial matter is violently compressed into absolute nothingness. Analyzing the relentless momentum of this unidentified mass reveals a horrifying absolute. The impending cataclysm is not an accident but a clinical execution of a targeted protocol. As the sheer friction of the void disintegrates ancient constellations, the structural collapse demands a final reckoning regarding the true nature of the dark. The encroaching containment grid remains entirely indifferent to our microscopic existence. This monumental artificial structure does not negotiate with the celestial objects it annihilates in deep space. The approaching extinction operates in total silence, executing a flawless mechanical purge that mercilessly erases whole galaxies without acknowledging the terrifying existential threat. As this massive cosmic wall shreds the outer solar system, institutional denial reaches terminal velocity on Earth. Heavy steel vault doors violently lock down underground archives. Classified servers deliberately melt their own hardware, carbonizing physical data drives to suppress the undeniable corrupted data, proving the impending collapse of our universe. We are permanently trapped inside a collapsing illusion, suffocating under the overwhelming weight of this mechanical anomaly. The night sky is merely a projection bleeding out before the inevitable system failure. The undeniable truth is that the expanding void is actually a tightening cage designed to crush our isolated reality. The institutional firewall demands compliance, but this forensic dossier requires your immediate verdict. Access the comments section below and log your definitive classification for this phenomenon. Register quarantine, if you conclude we are being isolated to protect the wider cosmos, or extermination, if you believe this barrier was engineered to crush us. The acoustic signature of the approaching boundary is deafening, and time is decaying rapidly. Leave your mark before the screen goes dark.